How are you? Welcome to today's class. Have you had food today? So let's start our today's class. This is our third class. What we have studied in our second class, do you remember that? Then all of you say with me what we have discussed in our second class. In our second class, we have studied about the food making process in plants, that is photosynthesis, and we discussed about different types of plants. They are storing their extra food in different parts of their body, isn't it? Today we have to discuss some other topics. Are you ready for that? So let me ask some questions to you. Which are the products are producing by the plants at the time of photosynthesis? Which are the products plants are producing at the time of photosynthesis? All of you say with me, which are the products plants are producing at the time of photosynthesis? As a result of photosynthesis, plants are producing sugar, oxygen and water. Then we studied that sugar they are producing at the time of photosynthesis are storing in their body in the form of carbohydrate or starch. So today, first of all, we are discussing about an activity to find the presence of carbohydrate or starch in a plant. The activity to find the presence of carbohydrate or starch in a plant. So all of you look at this picture. This picture shows the different stages in this activity. At first, we are taking a green leaf. Then in second step, we are boiling that leaf in water. Then in third step, we are again boiling that leaf using alcohol. Then in step 4, we can see that leaf is slowly changing its color into white. What will be the reason for that? As the alcohol dissolving the chlorophyll present in that leaf loses its green color, then it changes its color into white. So in this stage, we can see that the leaf is changing its color into white as it lost the chlorophyll. We know that chlorophyll gives green color to the leaf, isn't it? Then in next step, we are adding some drops of iodine. Let me write here. Iodine is a chemical that we are using to identify the presence of carbohydrate or starch. Iodine we are using to identify the presence of carbohydrate. So in this step, we are adding some drops of iodine to this leaf. Now we can see that the leaf again changing its color into blue or black. If the leaf is changing its color into blue or black, we can understand that leaf contains carbohydrate or starch. If the leaf is changing its color into blue or black, we can understand that leaf contains carbohydrate or starch. So by doing this activity, we can understand the presence of carbohydrate or starch in a leaf. Is it clear? Then let's move on to the next topic. So we studied that different types of plants are producing their food by themselves by the process of, what is that process? By the process of photosynthesis. Then the extra food they are storing in their different parts of body, isn't it? Then we have to study some other type of plants which cannot prepare their food by themselves. There are some other types of plants which cannot prepare their food by themselves. They are depending other plants or animals for their food. Such type of plants are called as parasitic plants. So parasitic plants are a group of plants which cannot prepare their food by themselves. They get their food from other plants or animals. Such group of plants are called as parasitic plants. Let me write here, parasitic plants. Parasitic plants are the plants they cannot prepare their food by themselves. They are depending other plants or animals for their food. Is it clear? Can you give some examples for parasitic plants? Here is the examples of parasitic plants such as orchid and dodder. These are the examples for parasitic plants, orchid and dodder. You have to find some more examples for these parasitic plants. Okay. Then there are another type of plants, they cannot prepare their food by themselves due to the absence of chlorophyll in their body. Some other type of plants are there, they cannot prepare their food by themselves due to the absence of chlorophyll in their body. We know that chlorophyll is an essential factor for the photosynthesis. So, if a plant is not having chlorophyll, it cannot do the process of photosynthesis. So, such type of plants are called as non-green plants. Non-green plants are the plants, they cannot prepare their food by themselves due to the absence of chlorophyll in their body. Such type of plants also depending other organisms for their food. Which are the examples for non-green plants? Here is the example for a non-green plant, that is mushroom. Then in this picture you can see another example for non-green plant, that is mould. Have you saw bread moulds? When we are keeping bread for some days without packing it properly, we can see that a blue color powder is spreaded on that breads. That particular thing is called as moulds. They are also organisms. So such non-green plants are depending other organisms for their food, such as mushroom and moulds. Here, mushrooms and moulds are commonly depending dead or decaying matter for their food. They are depending dead matter or decaying matter for their food. That's all about parasitic plants and non-green plants. Is it clear? So now we can understand that plants are producing their food by the process of photosynthesis. Then as a result of photosynthesis, they are producing sugar, water and oxygen. Then we are depending directly or indirectly the plants for our food, isn't it? Every animals are depending plants for their food, for our food. Then not only for food, for the oxygen to breathe in. For that also we are depending plants, isn't it? So if there is no plants or there is no process of photosynthesis, we cannot live in this earth, isn't it? Then we are giving the carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. So we can understand that we are helping each other. We are giving the carbon dioxide to the plants and the plants are giving food and oxygen for us. Now we can understand that we cannot survive here without the help of plants. Then plants also need our help for getting carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. So here we are always try to protect the plants in our surroundings. Always want to protect the plants in your surroundings. Are you ready for that? Don't allow to cut the trees or plants in your home and all. Okay, so now we can understand the importance of plants in our life. Is it clear? I hope you understood all the things we have discussed in today's class, isn't it? So that's all for today. Thank you.